He's all right.
Hank, you had the pleasure of riding passenger with John on his first ATV ride, so I must ask, how did he do?
Well, he didn't wreck it, so that's a good thing. My wife will be happy about that. I was holding on to the grab bar the whole time, though, and thank God I did have a 4-point seatbelt on. I could have used a helmet, I'll admit that. But
Hey, he made it back.
He made it back.
You guys are safe and on 2 feet.
Not too many scratches on the machine, so we're okay.
Right, it was...
You like them little curvy trails back there?
Oh, I do. I was having fun.
Yeah, when it was, when we were, the curve, and it was like a high curve, and I'm like, oh, are we about to tip over? And it was making me a little nervous. I'm like, I don't want to crash Hank's ATV.
It was similar to Chicagoland traffic.
Yeah, yeah, right. Drive downtown, I don't want to do that, you know. So Don Britton is part of the Hiawathaland Snowmobile Club, and I wanted to talk about...
Snowmobile and ORV, both really.
Yeah, I wanted to, talk about, the different, organizations, outdoor organizations that are here in the UP. So, what can you tell us about the club in Hiawatha?
Well, Hiawathaland primarily was just a snowmobile club. And it started in 1970, but it's gravitated over to snowmobile and ORV now also. It just, and that's the trend for just about all the clubs in the areas. Mm-hmm. I know Republic is ORV, and Big Bay isn't quite ORV yet, but they're pretty isolated up there.
So do you guys get a lot of foot traffic when it is the winter time and people coming to try to ride out there?
Yeah, well, obviously in the wintertime we get a lot of tourism traffic and stuff like that, more than ATVs do, because I'm sure ATV people ride in their own local areas more. So, but trails up here are awesome as far as I'm concerned for all year-round riders, And Marquette County has over 500 miles of actual trails, so it's pretty. They're not all ATV, but they're 90% of them are snowmobile trails. But
and
most people use the the snowmobile maps to navigate through for ATVs anyway.
So a lot of times they kind of go hand in hand. They carry over from one season to the next. I want to talk more about that 500 miles of trails here in Marquette County, because we saw maybe like a half a mile of trail over there. It was pretty windy. I mean, not too hilly, slight hills. It was really well maintained. Are most of the trails like that in Marquette County?
Yeah, ORV trails are 90%. If they're statewide trails, they're graded a couple times a year. So, and then they do dust control also, of course.
In terms of terrain, does it just vary just from spot to spot where you go?
Significantly.
You can go from a 6 or 7 degree hill to miles and miles of flat grade,
So that's why pre-planning might be key to enjoying your trip. So does that trail that we were just on, does that have a particular name, or is that kind of the zone behind the clubhouse?
That's partially, in a snowmobile world, that's Trail 8, which goes from Sault Ste. Marie all the way to Hurley, Wisconsin.
It's the only one that crosses the whole UP.
Okay.
And I want to say this about the trails, too. As Donnie said, that many of the snowmobile trails are open to ATVs. Mm-hmm. However, what they have done in the last few years is for ATV trails, there are little white markers that have letters on them, whereas the snowmobile trails have orange markers with numbers on them. So if it has a white marker with a letter on it, you know you're on an ATV trail. And a lot in town, they reroute the ATVs and snowmobiles in different directions.
Okay, so look out for the white marker and the letter for the ATV trails. Right. Okay. And then orange is in the wintertime, but we don't need to get there right now.
Not yet, no.
That's 4 or 5 months away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something...
Hopefully 5 months away, at least.
You gotta get us out there in wintertime, too.
Oh, you know I will.
You were here last year.
I know, it's a great time. You guys really know how to have fun in the Upper Peninsula with your machines.
We got to do something up here to keep ourselves enjoyed.
I agree.
I know you said, 4 months, but I'm hoping maybe 6 months until winter,
That's not how it works.
It just got warm. I feel like let's
It like just got warm like 5 minutes ago too.
right,
It was
exactly.
weather even
Right,
today.
exactly. So yeah, so guys, we're gonna take another quick commercial break. But when we come back, we're gonna talk more about how you can get involved with ATV riding, how you can possibly rent them if it is rentable, and the trails that you can go on around the UP. So stay with us.